Hello, David Ritzy for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. Commuting to work, and it seems like I've gotten into the habit of doing these. This is what is it? Confessions in a car, murmurings in a motorway. I don't know. Amusings in an Aston. Amusings in an Aston. That kind of works. You can hardly tell I'm a marketer. Amusings in an Aston. But I do have an amusing this morning because the last 2 days I've been bombarded with rumor, news in quotes, that Sydney Sweeney has been signed, discussed, to be the next Bond girl. And it begins, ladies and gentlemen. So I promise I'm not being snarky nor curmudgeon-y. Go see another video. But it does make me laugh, you know, when I see these headlines, and they really are. They're really like entertainment headlines. Sydney Sweeney eyed for a Bond girl. What does that even mean? Eyed? Does that mean that somebody looked her way, had a consideration, screen test? I mean, it can mean so many different things. But the one thing it means to this particular Bond fan is, here we go. You know, it started with, well, the very first day that Amazon took creative control, there were so many speculation, assumptions. Is Bond going to turn into a TV series? Is it going to be the Moneypenny TV series? Are we going to get all these ancillary characters? And then we've had producer announcements. People felt better, but then even that is like, you know, well, what is it going to be? Is it going to be like Harry Potter? Is it going to be like Spider-Man? And then, you know, the inevitable, well, this is who it's going to be. Here's who the next Bond is going to be, Tom Holland. And you know, all these other people, these young actors, which probably have no basis in truth. And I've been on a few other content creators' vlogs and videos to discuss this, how I feel it's just the media. It's not even misdirection or smokescreens, because that would say that it's maniacal and someone's doing this on purpose. It feels to me as if, because Bond is such a hot, multi-billion-dollar property, and there's been such a dryness, this desert of information, that the media says, you know what, slow news day, not a lot going on in the world, politics, and the world of entertainment. We need something in the entertainment column. Let's just conjure up something. Or, you know what I heard? Somebody was working out next to me at Gold's Gym this morning. They were on the Stepmaster, and Sheila said to Kathy, hey, you know what would be great? Tom Holland. Tom Holland is James Bond. I like that guy. And then we're off and running. Variety, trade papers, and yes, Bond fans creating content around talking about the potential of these people. And now we're at Sydney Sweeney, who, let me tell you about Sydney Sweeney and my relationship with her. Easy there, nothing formal. I am probably by far the oldest fan in the world of a TV show called Euphoria. Euphoria is a show, it's people in the zeitgeist of today, young people with young problems, and it's batshit crazy show, and I love it. The writing is great, the characters are amazing, and by the way, the actors, they can act. Like, they're really good, and they're very natural, and there's real moments, and it's the type of show, never mind the subject matter, it's the type of show that I feel immersed into. Like, when I'm watching it, there's not a lot going around me, which is fantastic. That's what I look for in watching media today, is escapism, as you know. But Sydney Sweeney plays this, you know, havoc surrounded, dramatic individual, and she's good. Like, I get it. She's very attractive. She's pretty. She has impossible dimensions. She works very hard to gain that. I get the aesthetics, so I'm not ignoring the fact that I think she's beautiful. And I'm not even a person that likes blondes. I prefer brunettes. That's just me. I married one. See? Proven. But she's pretty. It's you can't deny. And I've seen her in a couple of rom-coms and other movies. Unfortunately, I saw her in Madam Web. Horrible movie. Please don't watch it. And she wasn't great in that either. Writing, direction. But she can act. I saw Euphoria, and if you want to watch a little YouTube clips of her acting in Euphoria, go see that. She can act. But I will tell you, I feel like this is more media fodder. You know, let's spin the dial of who's hot right now and who's the talk of the town, and then, of course, they're going to be aligned with a hot property. Now, I can't blame people. Here goes the weird shadows. Look at this. It looks like I have like a shadow mic in front of me or something phallic. Or I've got like a clown makeup on. There we go. Just disappear. It's the sun. It's the morning commute sun. Okay? We do not have the budget here at the Bond Experience to have drones follow my car and great lighting and this and that. This is me doing a video on the fly. So just have a little patience with me is what I'm asking. All right, back to Sydney Sweeney. But I do feel like they're just spinning the wheel of who's hot and then aligning it to Bond. And it made me think more about Sydney Sweeney. It made me think about the next 2+ years, because it's hard to argue that we're probably not going to get a movie in 2027. We're probably going to get it in 2028. So what is that? 2.5 years. Are we going to get 2.5 years of rumors? Of course we are. Are we going to get 2.5 years of speculation, assumptions, wrong information? Yes. That is the way of life of the world of Bond and a Bond fan. It's our lot in life. And it's not a lot, but it's life. It's the life of a Bond fan. So we could do a couple things. I could see all my content creator friends talking about Sydney Sweeney and Grimace, like the McDonald's character. Grimace. Or I could not sort of squinch, and I could be like, oh, this is entertaining, and this is part of the trajectory of Bond fans. We love to talk about things. Is it a little bit of a gossip thing? Sure. Is it harmless? Yes. Is anybody watching? No. Except for friends and family. So isn't it kind of fine that we're doing this? Well, I'm going to give you a complicated answer. My answer is yes, big yes, because it's fun. And what else are we going to do for the next 2.5 years if we're not going to speculate and have fun talking about these rumors? But isn't it a little bit of our responsibility as people, I'll say a little bit closer to the world of James Bond, let's say people in the know, to deflate them? Just a little? Deflate them just a little bit? And what I mean by deflate them is don't post them as fact. I've seen a couple of these. Not a lot, thankfully, but there are a few people going around and saying Sydney Sweeney is the new Bond girl, is the next Bond girl. What do you guys think of this? And I'm like, a part of me wants to jump into the fray and go, stop. You know, the slow motion. But I'm not going to. I'm going to put out this video and say, if you are going to embrace and have fun, as we all should, talking about this speculation, talking about this quote-unquote news, have fun with it. But please, 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 don't put it as fact until Amazon MGM Studios puts out something official like Denis Villeneuve, I'm practicing pronunciations, is director. Speculation ends. He's director. You know, here are the producers. Speculation done. You know, here's the timing. Here's when we're going to have a Bond film. Here's the title of it. Done. If it comes out from Amazon MGM. But data doesn't equal truth, doesn't equal insights until it's official. So here's an idea. If you're going to post a rumor or discuss it, say unofficial Sydney Sweeney eyed for the next Bond girl, or take this with a grain of salt. Like, there are so many different ways to approach it, and you've seen it all. And you have some very, I'll say, responsible content creators creating content and doing it the right way and just saying things like, here we go, rumor mill, blah, 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 blah. What do you guys think about the potential for Sydney Sweeney to be a Bond girl? Which, by the way, I wouldn't be upset. Although, there's more than a few of you who are saying, you know, David, I know it's the land that you tread on, but American-born Bond girls have not had the greatest record. And they're not entirely wrong. I mean, put Halle Berry aside. I don't think she did great as Jinx, but, you know, she's Academy Award winner, so maybe it's direction, maybe it's writing. I'll give her that. You have Lana Turner, right? Plenty O'Toole. Not the greatest acting chops in the world, but I like her. She's a sweet, sweet woman, and she did a great job, and she has certain assets that I'm sure they were looking for. You know, you have Stacy, you have Tanya Roberts, James, and you all know very well my opinion of her portrayal in View to a Kill did not help the movie. Did not help the movie. Sorry, Tanya. May you rest in peace. Very nice woman, though. She did better in other things. So again, who do you blame that on? And then you have, of course, The World Is Not Enough. And you have Christmas Jones, Denise Richards. Again, very nice woman. Seems like a nice woman, at least, very giving of her time. I don't know if she's a nice woman. She's been on the Housewives of something, and I'm sure she's got her own personality, as she should, everybody should, but her portrayal in The World Is Not Enough, not heralded as the most incredible. I mean, it's not up there with the Wei Lins of the world, or the Vespers, my gosh, of the world. So I get it. U.S.-based Bond girl's not a great track record. So are people looking at Sydney Sweeney, who, I get it. You know, she definitely looks the part of the 1960s Bond girl. Are they saying, oh my gosh, another one with no acting chops? But I would defend her and say that she's got some acting chops. Give her a chance. Give her a chance. Watch her in some other things other than judging a book by its cover. But judging a book by its cover, it's the very crux of this amusings in an Aston. We'll see what that takes. Because judging a book by its cover is taking news, taking information, taking gossip, and making it official. And I get it. Sometimes it comes from incredible sources. And I also understand, mea culpa, I understand the near addiction of content creators wanting to be the first, or the loudest, or the most popular, or to have the most views of a piece of news, or think that they're breaking something. Let me tell you something, and I say this with lots of heart and love, mostly love. When you break a piece of news, you're probably not breaking a piece of news. People know. I've seen it time and time again. Look what just happened. You know, this content creator and that content creator break the news. And I listen, I've done it, I put it up there, and I know that there have been dozens of people that knew about it beforehand. And I'm not even talking officially, I'm talking Bond fans probably knew a week before you. It's just the way of the world. Like there is this James Bond grapevine. Nobody likes to talk about the shadows, but you know, there is a James Bond, that's the wheel, that's my hand, that's the wheel. Nobody wants to talk about this, and it's not insidious and it's not negative. It's a fun group of people. It's a grapevine, and they hear things, or they're connected, or whatever it is. I sometimes get some information from the grapevine, and I wouldn't even consider myself part of the grapevine. I don't have that much ego to say that, but the people that are truly part of a really respectful grapevine, they know. They just can't say, or to them, the equity in life is not to be the first to blab it out there publicly. The equity in life is to sit quietly, watch, see how it unfolds, see how people interpret it, and wait for it to be official. And chances are a lot of these people, they get pulled onto news shows and information, and rightfully so, because they are the ones that are the calm in the room. They're not the ones that are guilty of, like, I need to share this right away. That's what a content creator sounds like. They need to share it right away. They're like a paralyzed shareholder that has discovered gold. Hey, I discovered gold. I don't know why I'm doing that impression. I have no idea. But anyway, I just wanted to give this amusings in an Aston about Sydney Sweeney, about seeing how some people, of course, are saying it's fact, and then talking about it as fact, and just saying, let's enjoy it. Absolutely. But let's enjoy it with a grain of salt and responsibility. Responsibility? Just be responsible. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, there you have it. The amusings at an Aston. The more I say it, the more I hope it sticks. I'd like your opinion. Something with an A. I need alliteration. It's like a comic book. Anyway, this has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience, Commuted to Work. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks for watching the Bond Experience. If you like what you saw, why don't you subscribe to the channel by clicking this button right here. We'll keep you up on everything new that's happening in the world of Bond. And speaking of something new, here's something new just for you because we know you so well. Talk to you soon.